Good day, everyone. Welcome to Real Conservative Headline News. I'm your host, Nathaniel. Rajkumar. Here are today's headlines. Venezuela officially greenlights a major offshore natural gas expansion, awarding a license for the 4 trillion cubic foot Loran field. A move set to boost Trinidad and Tobago's energy supply and LNG processing, and of course, boost our economy. Most of all, wonderful news. And in Washington, a woman faces federal charges after allegedly defacing the National World War II Memorial with pink spray paint and dumping soap into its fountain, drawing sharp condemnation from President Trump. Granny, why would you do such a thing? You have to be a Democrat. Stay tuned, of course. Details in the news up next. The Venezuelan government has officially awarded an exploration and production license for Phase 2 of the Loran field in the Plataforma Deltana area. A major move expected to significantly accelerate natural gas development across the region. So, of course, they're not just doing us a favor. Venezuela is going to benefit. But, of course, Zami Young and the PNM crew will be saying, we did this and we did that and we set the foundation. To be honest, I wouldn't do like the UNC. I will say yes. They did set the foundation. But you see, the PNM were going about doing it this the wrong way. It's all about timing, people. You can't make a deal with Venezuela when you needed approval from the United States of America, because you could have even destroyed our country more than you already did during the 9.5 years. Our country under sanctions would have collapsed even more than it had already done. So what was needed was to continue to reaffirm our good and a close relationship with America, like what Kamala predecessor did. And then once the license was approved and it's approved by America, then you pursue the deal with Venezuela. That's what you do. You understand? So at the end of the day, people, if PNM was still in office, they might have been bad talking the USA, and the USA might have been kind of reluctant under Trump to be able to grant the license to begin with. I don't know, maybe they may have still done it. I don't know. Maybe they would have. So yeah, they give credit when credit is due. Now does that mean that I am just forgetting about all the nonsense Kamala has done recently with the taxes, fees, and fines and this SOE? No. But I promise that I will give credit when credit is due. And I've said it from the very beginning that UNC will always perform better when it pertains to reviving the energy industry, reviving the economy, and also infrastructure development. That is just the facts. It's just that they're adopting a lot of PNM-style policies as well, which is going to be really bad for the party in 2030. Energy giant BP will operate the phase in an equal share partnership with UAE-based investment company XRG and Qatar's UCC Oil and Gas Holding, containing an estimated 4 trillion cubic feet of recoverable gas resources. The offshore field plays a key role in expanding regional energy capacity. So it's not just even only Trinidad will benefit, entire regions. Wonderful news. The agreement marks a pivotal step for Trinidad and Tobago's natural gas supply. Remember, the PNM Patriots recently was saying, oh, that is it for us, The PNM, the UNC come and mash up the relationship with Venezuela, and that is it. Now, of course, in the earlies, I must admit, I was commending Kamala for making very strong statements against Venezuela. I've realized now that she shouldn't have done so, because we shouldn't have had so much confidence in Trump that he would have actually removed that autocratic communist regime from office in Venezuela. So Kamala should have remained more neutral and diplomatic when it pertains to that issue. Does that mean that she shouldn't have commended and support Trump's and the Trump administration's war against the narco-terrorists in the region, people? I ain't changing about that. She should have and should continue to support that. Right? Nothing against that. But you see the little jabs that she made towards the president of Venezuela and stuff, she should have kept out of Venezuela and America's business. Just stay silent. You don't want to defend the communists either, but she should have stayed silent. She's doing the right thing now. Under current energy cross-border agreements, gas extracted from the field is slated for processing through Trinidad's existing infrastructure and LNG export facilities. Officials from both countries and industry stakeholders view the Phase 2 clearance as a long-awaited breakthrough that will enhance energy security, foster bilateral cooperation, and unlock substantial economic potential for the Atlantic basin. And finally, some good news to report.
Weather report for Trinidad and Tobago on Saturday, August 15, 2026. The weather in Trinidad and Tobago on Saturday, August 15, 2026 is expected to be partly cloudy to cloudy, slightly hazy, and breezy with occasional showers and a high chance of afternoon thunderstorms. According to the official Trinidad and Tobago Meteorological Service, there is a 40% to 60% chance of heavy showers and isolated thunder showers primarily during the afternoon. Expect a maximum high temperature of 27 degrees Celsius to 29 degrees Celsius and a nighttime low of 23 degrees Celsius to 24 degrees Celsius. Due to high humidity ranging from 75% to 95%, the real feel heat index will sit around 32 degrees Celsius. East-northeasterly to southeasterly winds will travel between 10 to 40 km per hour with higher gusts near downpours. Street or flash flooding and landslips are possible in flood-prone areas during heavy bursts of rainfall. Spring tides remain in effect across the islands. Seas will stay moderate to occasionally rough with waves reaching up to 2.5 meters in open waters, and all marine interests are urged to exercise extreme caution.
International news. Now, authorities have arrested a woman in connection with the defacement of the National World War II Memorial, where the phrase "clean hands, dirty money" was scrawled in bright pink spray paint across the site. I bet you anything she was a radical leftist. Yeah, Democrats. They feel as though they're above the law, all of them. Federal law enforcement officers detained suspect Melissa L. Farris after she publicly indicated plans to surrender to authorities. The act of vandalism, which occurred Thursday on the National Mall, also involved bubble soap being dumped into the memorial's central fountain, causing it to overflow with suds, and forcing U.S. Park Police to temporarily block off the area for cleanup. Federal prosecutors have filed felony charges against Farris, including depredation of government property and destruction of a veterans memorial. The incident drew immediate condemnation from President Trump, who denounced the act as an insult to American veterans and servicemen who sacrificed their lives during World War II. Expressing outrage online, Trump condemned the desecration of the sacred site and warned that law enforcement was actively pursuing those responsible, highlighting recent acts of vandalism near the reflecting pool. Democrats again, radical leftists again. I don't understand how Chinese could love Democrats, I will never understand. I have my issues with Trump and the Republicans. But my goodness, Democrats, alphabet soup Democrats, no thanks. National Park Service officials and federal investigators continue to assess the restoration costs and monitor the site as cleanup efforts proceed. Granny, why would you do that? You can't be, at your age, you're supposed to be spending time, I said it before on my other channel, you're supposed to be spending time with your children and grandchildren. Why would you do this? Your freedom is at stake now. You should not be worrying about going and sitting down in a prison for a few years or something. That is ridiculous, all because your obsession with your hatred for Trump and Republicans, because you just obsessed with being a radical leftist. My goodness, that was ridiculous what you did, Granny. Really, really, really ridiculous. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu refers to UK as Islamic Republic of Britain in radio interview. In an interview with Army Radio on Thursday, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, the modern-day Jehu, jokingly referred to the United Kingdom as the Islamic Republic of Britain. But it's true. Britain, Great Britain, supposedly supposed to be a Christian nation, has abandoned their Christian population, now persecuting them and arresting them, imprisoning them for radical jihadist agendas, just to please the radical jihadists in their country. Nonsense. I love what Benjamin Netanyahu said. And of course, that's what you do, what you get when you vote for a radical leftist party. Yeah, the conservatives in England made some mistakes during the C19 era, but you should have still voted for them instead of the leftist party that you all voted for. I was surprised to hear when they won. It was sad. I knew this kind of nonsense was going to take place. The remark came as Netanyahu contrasted what he described as the Churchill family's favorable coverage of Israel during the Six-Day War with attitude towards Israel in Britain today. Britain has become an anti-Semitic, anti-Zionist nation. Sad to see that happen. Someone said the first nuclear Islamic republic will be the Islamic Republic of Britain, Netanyahu said. So we are making sure there won't be another one over here in Iran. I love it. I really love it.
Psalm 37, 1-4. Do not fret because of those who are evil, or be envious of those who do wrong, for like the grass they will soon wither, like green plants they will soon die away. Trust in the Lord and do good, dwell in the land and enjoy safe pasture. Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart.
Folks, that brings us to the end of today's headline news. Thanks again to everyone who continues to support my content. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay blessed and stay safe most of all. In Jesus' name.